Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is obviously Tuesday. Markets are open today. Bitcoin was up today. Markets were kind of mixed a little bit today, but it wasn't too bad. The miners were up nicely today. They had a huge bounce in the morning, but Bitcoin came close to 32,750. Didn't get all the way up there, but I did say in yesterday's video that it may bounce up to our resistance, which is at 32,750, and it did. We got some other stories to talk about as well. We'll talk about obviously Bitcoin with some of the headwinds that it's going to have ahead of it and what it could do in the coming weeks. And then also we'll take a look at two adoption stories. One is from Panama and one is from Turkey. So adoption, we want adoption. Adoption leads to more people using it, leads to higher prices. So that's always good. So as always, let's not get into too far in the weeds before we get going. So as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I'm investing in the following coins and companies. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's get into Bitcoin first. We'll get into the miners as well. And then we'll look at some of the stories covering it. So Bitcoin right now is at 31,732. Like I said in yesterday's video, I did say that we may obviously go up to the resistance, which is at the white line here at 32,750. We came pretty doggone close to it. We were at right around, let's see here, on this one. Let me zoom in here. On that one, we came in at 32,383, so we're off by only $400 or so from our top here, which wasn't too bad. We still may actually try and test it on the RSI, at least on the 4-hour chart I'm seeing here. We are in the overbought territory, but I think it is possible for us to go up another basically $1,000 before we have maybe a correction going forward, just because we're way overbought in the 4 hours. We're also overbought in the 1 hours, but we are trending down while the price has gotten better, obviously. So looking at it here, we're at 55 on the RSI. Last time we were right around this range, we were here, which the price was at around 29,000. So obviously we've had a nice increase in price on the 1 hour chart while our RSI has come down. So that is actually a little bit of a good sign, at least in the short term. We'll have to see how in the 4 days in the daily chart, see how it plays out. But right now in the 4 hour, it is definitely overbought, which leads me to think we're going to have a little pullback. And on the daily chart, we're still not seeing what I would like to see, where obviously RSI has come down and the price has gone up. We're still seeing that the price in the RSI is pretty much at 51 here on the daily. Last time we were close to that, we were back on May 4th. We had a much higher price. Obviously, price has come down. RSI has been the same, which leads me to believe we may be coming back down a little bit more to that, below 30,000 mark, possibly going into 24,000 range. But we may bounce off of this or bounce a little bit more between these resistance. So if resistance, we get past the 32,750. Our next resistance would be the 37,800 or so. But like I said before in previous videos, I think there is nothing here to test us between the 20,000 and right here between the 20,000 and the 30,000 mark. There is just no support. So we may drop, but we'll have to see. Obviously, I would want nothing more than for us to continue going up, obviously, but we may have to come back down a little bit, I think, to kind of test things out. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Ethereum did the same thing, obviously, today. This is a daily chart on Ethereum. It's at 1,948. It obviously spiked the last couple of days, just like Bitcoin did. Miners obviously benefited from it as well. We'll take a look at the miners here shortly. But on the daily chart, we're looking kind of the same way as we did with Bitcoin. RSI is at 42, 43 right now, and going back to where it was last time, we were obviously much higher in price. So price has come down. RSI is about the same during that time frame. I would like to see the same thing, obviously, with Ethereum, price going up while RSI going down. That would be a good sign for us on that. Let's take a look at the miners here. See how the miners did today. Miners had a great day today. Some of them were up like 20% in the pre-hours when they started trading today. So Annie was up actually just a little bit, 0.95% to $1.06. Argo, you can see here, popped up at, basically opened up. Let me see if we got the open here. Open was 62 cents, high was 65 cents, and low was 61 cents. So nice day for them. Digital was up 8.54% to $1.78. It opened up at $1.78, had a high of $1.86. and a low of $1.71 on the day. Bitfarms was up today as well, 9.24% to $2.01. It opened up at $2.04. It hit a high of $22.10 and a low of $1.90. today. So obviously things were very fluid this morning, where the miners started out being pretty high in the open, but then people were selling them obviously because of the gains, and then they started going back up a little bit. Cleanspark was up today. Basically, it was flat, it looks like. It did open up higher at 612. It had a high of 627, and then obviously came down to 583, and then came back up to where it's at right now at 589. Core Scientific was down today 4.34%, excuse me, to $3.53. It did open up at 379, high of 399. Wow, that's a big swing there for today, and a low of 349 on the day. It's up a little bit in the after hours, basically gaining a little bit more than what it lost excuse me, on the day, of 4.82% to $3.70 in the after hours. Digihost was up 8.79% to $1.98. It opened up at $2.10, went as high as $2.20, and a low of $1.82 on the day. DMG was up 6.29% to 31 cents. It too opened up higher today at 31 cents, went up as high as 33 cents, had a low of 31.5 cents. Hive was up nice today, 10.3% to $4.39, up a little bit more in the after hours to $4.45, and it also started up pretty high. It was almost like 20% up in the morning hours when it opened up, but it obviously opened up at $4.53, had a high of $4.63, and then a low of $4.29, and it settled in the middle there. Hut 8 was up 1.19% to $2.55. It opened up at $2.69, had a high of $2.79, and then a low of $2.52. So it bounced off the low a little bit here on the day. Iris Energy was up 2.95% to $5.94, up a little bit more in the after hours to $6. It also opened up higher this morning at $5.90, had a high of $6.48. So you can see that big span there. That's basically another 15% or so difference. And then a low of $5.69. So very volatile day on the markets. And then you got Luxxfolio was up 12.64%. It basically opened at the high and stayed there pretty much throughout the day at 17.91 cents. And then Marathon was down 0.39% to $10.23. It opened up at 11.04, so obviously opened up higher, and then it came down in price. High was $11.17. Low was $10.02. So it obviously bounced off the low on the day. Mawson was up 14.62% to $2.43, up a little bit more in the after hours to $2.48. It opened up also, didn't open up higher, looks like. Low was $2.15. It went up as high as $2.43. So it started out low and then just continued going up throughout the day. Riot started out down today 0.69% to $7.19. It opened up at $7.77. High was $7.83 and a low of $7.05. So it looks like it bounced off the low here for the day. And then finally, Stronghold was up 8.03% to $3.23. Started out the day at $3.19, high of $3.27, and a low of $3.10. So it was obviously in there as well. So like I said, pretty volatile day, but for the most part, most of the miners were up on the day, which is a good sign. And it kind of goes back to last week, where they were up for almost 3 days. Most of them were up. So hopefully we have a little bit of a trend reversal here as long as Bitcoin continues going up. All right, so that's it for the miners. Let's get into the stories here. So the first story is, we'll do this one. So Turkey is drafting a crypto bill to submit to Parliament in coming weeks. The report, so this is obviously part of our stories that we talk about as far as expansion and adoption. This is things that we want to see, governments being friendly to crypto, to Bitcoin and everything else. And this will obviously drive the Bitcoin price going forward. So Turkey is drafting a bill to establish new rules for crypto industry, Bloomberg reported last week, citing two unnamed Turkish officials familiar with the matter. Under the new regulatory framework, companies would be required to have a minimum of 1 million liras, which would be $6 million, in capital. In addition, global cryptocurrency exchanges would be mandated to open branch offices that can be taxed in Turkey. So obviously they're looking for the tax incentives to get tax income from it. And the authorities are also exploring ways to safely store cryptocurrencies. Moreover, the government is also considering imposing a symbolic levy on crypto purchases, the publication added. So a symbolic levy, and so obviously looking to get more tax income from that. And according to crypto payment service provider Tripli, over 2.4 million people, or 2.94% of Turkey's total population, currently own cryptocurrencies. So there's obviously a slow but growing number. And there also have been reports that crypto ownership is soaring in Turkey as high inflation and weak lira prompt Turks to seek ways to preserve their wealth. According to reports, the Turkish lira has lost half of its value in the past 12 months, while annual inflation reached a 20-year high of nearly 70% in April. Ouch. So I don't blame them for going into alternative assets like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So this is all good. We want adoption. We want, countries being fair to Bitcoin and to cryptocurrencies, and obviously not to ban them or anything like that. So I think this is good. I'm happy with that. We want to see adoption. Next, we got Panama's largest bank just became Bitcoin friendly. Tower Bank, a top 30 banking institution in Panama, just declared it's Bitcoin friendly. The bank is encouraging customers to sign up for a Bitcoin friendly account with simple document requirements to access upcoming functionality. Customers are required to provide the wallet address they intend to use and are required to notify the bank if the address changes. So that's kind of strange. Why wouldn't they just provide customers with the ability to create a new wallet, possibly in their banking system, right? In their software? Why would you need them to provide a wallet? It's kind of like just kind of tracking people in a way, right? I would much rather see them either. Here's my thought. If you have a wallet address and you want to interact with another person, you don't need a bank for it. If you're looking for a way to off-ramp onto a bank to get, your Bitcoins that you sell, whatever, you will need to get it on there. Okay, I can see that. But then the bank should be able to provide you with a wallet address that's new, so you can put money into it, maybe not all of it, but you can put some of it into it and then be able to transact. So that's kind of a little goofy there. They did respond here. I didn't respond. Here's a quote. So when customers receive funds as a result of a sale of cryptocurrencies, we need to know the address of the wallet with which the transaction was made. So if you only have one address, you must inform us at the time of opening the account. And if you subsequently change your address, you must also inform us. So I don't know exactly what the point of this is other than just tracking people. But they did say, here's how you get a ID or get an account basically. So customers must only present the following requirements. So your name, ID card or passport, telephone number, email, activity in which they are engaged, like trading, I guess, or what else you can put down, illegal activity, place of work, monthly income, and place of residence. So pretty much everything they need to know about you is right there. And I'm all happy for this to happen, that the bank is going to be allowing it, but I think they're going about it a little bit wrong. I think they should be providing obviously the wallets or Bitcoin addresses, whatever ones that they're going to support. They should be doing that, and that way you can put money into the account if you want to, and possibly sell it. So not sure how this is going to work out, but nonetheless, I think it's still good news. And then obviously on Bitcoin here, we talked about it possibly going down a little bit more after it, comes close to that 32,750 resistance that we have here. So Bitcoin price rallies to 32.3K, but three factors could limit the recovery. So let's take a look at that. So one of the things that could obviously limit it is a couple of things. So before I get ahead of myself, I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit. So here's what I wanted to point out as well. The weekly close was the highest close of the past 20 days, and it gave bulls the strongest 3-day run in over 2 months. However, macroeconomic fears may weigh on any future upside potential. And here's kind of what they're talking about. So fertilizer is one of those things. So fertilizer costs have risen exponentially over the past 18 months. In January 2021, the fertilizer price index stood at 78.83 and is currently at $254.97, increasing nearly 225%. A combination of supply chain disruptions and continued shortages is likely to continue disrupting the market, which could obviously weigh on Bitcoin, right? Inflation, so forth, so on. Could be a bad thing for us. The other thing is wheat. So wheat hit a new all-time high in February of 2022 and remains near those all-time highs. In just 2022 alone, wheat futures have increased as much as 76% and over 143% in the past 18 months, which is obviously not good, which leads to higher food costs. Everything that we pretty much eat will have a higher cost on it. So that's going to leave people with less cash to invest in cryptocurrencies and things like that, which could also drive people to sell some of their cryptocurrencies so they can eat, those that, had bought into cryptos. There are also broad concerns by traders and investors that oil may spike toward $150 per barrel once China ends its COVID shutdown. When that occurs, demand will most certainly return and further impact oil. We're also going to probably see more demand coming from Europe. I believe they are close to not fully banning, but partially banning Russian oil imports, which would account for 90% of their imports, I think. So that's obviously going to put a demand on everybody else. So we'll see how that plays out. And so obviously the growth concerns in the stock market, equity markets around the globe continue to face significant pressure. Rising inflation, soaring commodity costs, supply chain disruptions, and the conflict in Ukraine have put risk on investors and traders on the defensive, right? So the European Union also is going to have an unemployment data release coming in June 1st, along with the Bank of Japan's interest rate decision and manufacturing data. In addition, U.S. unemployment numbers and non-farm payroll data will be released on June 3rd. So we got a lot of data coming out this week, which obviously could spell a little bit of doom here for Bitcoin. So technical levels may limit Bitcoin's recovery to 37,000. If Bitcoin price can close above the daily, I can't say this word, Kaijun Sen, at or above 31,350, then BTC has a very open path to hit 37,000 value area. I would think it does kind of go with what I have here for him on the Bitcoin. Let's take a look at it here. I have it at resistance of 37,500, so that's kind of where I'm looking at as well. If we are able to pass our first resistance, which is at 32,750 or so, that would be the main one first. Additionally, the 22 volume profile is very thin between 32,000 and 37,000, but the 37,000 may be where the bulls face sellers again. We'll have to see. Obviously, we could see sellers again at 32,750, but if we do make it past that, then yeah, I would say 37,000 might be a tough one to pass. If bulls want to send a message to the market that a new uptrend is about to begin, then they would need to push Bitcoin price to a daily close near 44,000. In that scenario, BTC would trigger an ideal bullish Ichimoku breakout, giving bulls the path needed to retest all-time highs. So I think path of least resistance is probably going to be in favor here. So 44,000, that would be our support here at 44,800 or so, 700, where we've seen some resistance and obviously support, which could act as resistance. So we have a lot of resistance barriers to get through before we get to that one, which is why I'm thinking there isn't much in between once we get past 30,000 between that and 20,000. I mean, there really isn't anything. So I think we may be coming back down to test those before we actually go back up higher. But that's just me. Like I said, I would be more than happy to be proven wrong with this. I would love it for Bitcoin to go up higher. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What else do we got coming up? Obviously, tomorrow is first day of June, so we're going to get more miners reporting their May, which is going to be fun and exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more spending time on front of the spreadsheet, but we'll love doing that. So we'll look at those as well, see how they grew. That's going to be fun, and we'll go from there. We'll see what else we can find out that's interesting in the miner space as well. Oh, the other thing is new miner. May do a video update on them. I haven't heard anything from them as far as they're supposed to be getting miners out to people to test out. Haven't heard anything about that, so I'm going to do probably a little digging into that to see what's actually going on there, if there's anything happening or not. So we'll do it in a video, maybe, or maybe not. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then,